What's up, Ghost Mafia? Welcome to Real Talk with your host, your boy Ghost, aka Ghost Plays. Guys, we are going to be going over the Dylan Mulvaney chaos. That's Dylan Mulvaney chaos that has ensued over these past few weeks, past few months. Now, obviously, this is a hot topic for a lot of people, and I felt compelled that I have to put my 2 cents in this conversation. We have already seen the backlash with Bud Light, several makeup companies. Obviously, we're seeing backlash one after another. Nike, being completely attacked by real women, and obviously us logical human beings are seeing this as an attack on women. Now, when I looked into Dylan Mulvaney and I try to understand this person and really get to understand who's behind the mask, and yes, I said that correctly, I refer to my Bible when I deal with demonic stuff like this, and I do foresee stuff like this as a demonic situation. When I look at Dylan Mulvaney and all these other people that want to be women or women that want to be men, I see it as a demonic thing. I obviously know there's something mental health behind it, but there's something definitely demonics behind it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, who in their right mind thinks a man can be a woman? You know what I'm saying? I understand we are all living in turmoilous times, if I said that correctly. Uh, but our times are changing, rapidly, and obviously the devil has his foothold in this society of ours, and this is a product of that. And we want to question, who is Dylan? Is he fake? And that's the biggest question that I have, because the more I look into who he or she is simply as this: stage actor, Broadway. So obviously they know how to act. They know how to put on a show. And there was an article that came out where he spoke to the LA Times during the ascent of the pandemic, that he or she, whatever you guys want to call Dylan, I'll call him Dylan for the namesake of this video. Dylan told them that he wanted more feminine roles on Broadway. And Broadway obviously being a gender type strict environment, industry, males get male roles, female get female roles, so that led him on to being, at the onset of the pandemic, and obviously being laid off because of all the theaters shutting down, because obviously we're on lockdown. He turned to TikTok. In his own words, he said on TikTok he assumed it was a kid's app. Now, that statement that he made himself concerns me, because as a parent, yes, TikTok, obviously there are millions of kids, if not more, on that app, and it's very unfortunate. Even as a parent myself, you're not going to keep your kid off. I rather know my kids is on something than they're not. And quite a few people out there saying he's peddling this to children, and I see it. I see where they're coming from, but to attack him about it is not the right way to go. We need to go after the company that's allowing that, and obviously held him accountable too. But the more I watch his content, I don't see somebody who's trying to represent womanhood. I don't see somebody who's truly trying to represent the female gender. Okay, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing mockery. His first video he rolled out was crying 3 times, got an email that I never sent or something like that, and bought dresses I can't afford. That rubs me as a male. Okay, now, I'm not a female, obviously, but me as a male, that rubs me the wrong way. And it just clicked to me just a few weeks ago that my eldest daughter showed me a video on Dylan making fun of women with tampons. I didn't put two and two together until the more I looked at it. I'm like, this is the same person. So I see somebody who's literally fake. Just straightforward. I honestly think this is all a show. I honestly believe that this is all a show. I don't logically believe that Dylan Mulvaney is being real with this. Because if you compare him to other transgenders out there, he comes off way different, you know? And it becomes a household name in a matter of months. In a matter of months, you watch this complete 360. And the last time I seen somebody able to make a 360 like that are actors. They're pretty good at putting the show on pretty quickly. And, you know, and quite a few of his videos are cringe. Quite a few of his videos are kind of awkward. But he's trying to entertain. Because if you go early on to his TikTok, you can see him, you know, interviews with animals, you know, stuff like that. And Dylan was a very, very talented actor. Okay? Very talented. I'm not going to say he or she, whatever. Dylan was, okay, we'll leave it as that. Dylan was very talented. So obviously he wanted more feminine roles because he was gay. You know, he did come out as gay and obviously didn't want to give him those roles. And that's one part that sticks out to me. He wanted these roles to act. And now he's putting on a show like many artists did at the onset of the pandemic. A lot of people turned to TikTok in order for an outlet for their material. And obviously he found he found his ground, you know. And but it comes in big questions. Should have he interviewed the president? You know, I don't think he should have. I think that was the biggest embarrassment in our country's history. There's so many. Listen, if this is a real issue in our society, and I won't go down that rabbit hole in this video about transgenders and what my views are on it. If you guys want to know my views, let me know down in the comments. I could definitely do a video on my views of it. I definitely have some good insight to exactly what I see and where this all started. But with Dylan, like, he shouldn't have been the face of this whole movement. And one thing that very bothers me as a father of 3 daughters, he's now the face of womanhood. And I'll be straightforward, you know what I'm saying? How are men becoming the face of womanhood? Are they taking away opportunities from real women? Biological, let me say it like this, biological women. Okay, in one of his videos, he went straight out and said, I could be a mom. I know I could be a mom. Last time I checked, we can't give birth. Nor would I want to give birth to a child. I know women go through hell when it comes to pregnancy. It destroys their body. For any real man out there who's had a wife or is married and has children, knows what pregnancy does to women. See, God created women, okay, as he created women as our best friends. And now we're living in a society where we don't even know what the heck a woman is no more because anybody can be whatever they want. And this rabbit hole that we found ourselves into is opening a Pandora's box that will never be closed. And there's people like Dylan that's going to create an environment to make it easier for other groups of people to get what they want. Now, just when you look at it, at the whole bigger picture, guys, listen, this might come off sounding envious or whatever. It's not. I can care less. He's made a lot of money. No doubt about it. From Bud Light to Nike, all the way down the line, this individual has bankrolled. Not sure how much Broadway, you know, actors and actresses make, but I know for a fact since this entire thing Dylan started, he has bankrolled in the money and he had no problem flaunting it. In one of his videos on his TikTok, guys, he legitimately said, and it came out straight, he said, 8 milli for Dilly. So if he was truly transgender, if he was truly going through the transition phase and all this, would it be 8 million for our movement? Or is it more of 8 million for your own narcissistic mindset? I think he's narcissistic. I think he's all about Dylan. He's all about making the money, all about that fame and fortune, and he's obviously destroying the ideology of womanhood in the process. And you go through his TikTok, yes, there's quite a few people out there very supportive of him. God bless their souls. But then you had quite a few people, like real women, coming out like, yo, no. You're making a mockery. And one of his videos that I got to watch, and trust me, I'm never going to unsee everything I did for this video. So please do smash that like button, show some love, because the things I've seen, guys, it's going to give me nightmares for ages. But guys, listen. He dressed up as like a doll and literally said, let girls be dolls. That gave me the vibes of pedophilia. Like a grooming pedophilia style. And that gets into the one question I said earlier is, that question, statement I made, is this being peddled to kids? Well, he's very, very open about transitioning for children. I find that wrong. First of all, you've never had kids. You've never been a father, so you don't know, or mother, for the sake of argument here. Who are you to say of anything of children's rights? See, that's the problem in our society, is people that don't have children act like they know of what's right for children. No child at the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old can truly say who their identity is. And that's where it's our responsibility as parents to sit them down and have a logical conversation with that child and explain to them why they are biologically a woman and why they're biologically a male. So he has no right to peddle this to children. You know what I'm saying? In a few of the videos I watched, I didn't see many kids on there commenting, which I don't think they would. But we know for a fact kids are on the platform. Kids are being exposed to this. One of his videos, he talked about normalizing the bulge. That's freaking disgusting. You're not seeing me walking outside in booty shorts normalizing mine. You know how fast I'll be arrested if I walk into a child's school wearing booty shorts with a bulge? But this is okay. How effed up of a society have we turned into that we are normalizing mental health and people like Dylan exploiting womanhood, appropriating their culture, and making a mockery out of it? Like, we need to open our eyes. Like, listen, Bud Light's already facing ramifications, and every other brand deal he's had facing ramifications. People are making a mockery of him. He is a punching bag for every comedian out there. Every person on the internet is turning him into a meme. Is this what you truly wanted, to be a meme? When I came to social media, I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a true impact on our society. Not kind of leave it within ruins on the way out the door because I made bank. It makes no logical sense. Do I think he suffers from some kind of mental health, guys? I would say maybe. Is it gender dysphoria? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But based upon his behavior, I think it goes beyond that. Just the way he behaves, just the way he acts. You could tell, it feels like he's putting on a show for us. And as I said, very talented actor. Dylan was very talented and still is. But it does beg a question, how far is too far? Are we going to allow people like Dylan and other people out there that want to take away from women? I personally don't believe a biological male that wants to transition into a woman should ever play a female sport. Because you are going to rob a female of any opportunity of being a champion or succeeding. Now, I'm not saying boys and girls can't play sports together, but there is a scientific difference between a male and a female. And it's not saying females are weaker than men or men are stronger than women. Physically, men have a built different structure, muscle-wise. And there are tons, go look it up, there's tons of photos, evidence out there of biological men who transition into women that join the boxing ranks and stuff like that are destroying biological women. There was a Leah Thomas who is crushing the swim meets because of all that testosterone they grew up with. But with that being said, do we continue allowing Dylan the spotlight? As you notice throughout this entire video, I did not show not one video of him. And that's simply because he's not going to use my platform as a little spotlight. And I know every other, person that's made video on Dylan has personally has, sat out there and, put his videos out there because they want him for content purposes. Context, if I said that correctly. Listen, you could go do the research yourself. You could go look at it yourself. I'm not going to get down that rabbit hole because I watched enough of his videos to tell you they're mentally disturbing and a complete mockery. So we as a society needs to start standing up and saying, okay, listen, we're okay with people loving who they want to love. And if you want to live your life and do whatever you want to do, that's okay. Live your life, but do not shove it down the throats of children or the rest of society. Because that's not fair. And and here's another thing, guys. You can't force. You logically cannot force a regular human being, such as myself, or such as anybody else within society, to accept your pronouns. Now listen, if Jonathan wants to call himself Joanne, I'll call him Joanne. That's just a name. That don't really bother me. But you're not going to make me live in this bubble, making me fantasize within your false reality. You're violating my freedom of speech. And when I look at all these people that are doing all this on social media, I could tell who's a man and who's not. Leah Thomas looks like a guy. Dylan Mulvaney looks like a guy. And for him to utilize an app that he knew very well had a lot of kids on it, and he's pro transitioning children and all that. The surgeries, all that. It kind of disturbs me. It kind of honestly disturbs me because at the end of the day, we need to stop peddling this stuff to children. And now listen, you're going to hear from a female's perspective if she's okay with it. You might want to come closer to the mic.
There's kids transitioning. The parents are allowing it. And I find it very dangerous because
Speak
you
up.
actually... I am. Moving closer. I don't want to get in the camera.
You don't have to get in the camera. You can stand over here. Because this is my daughter that actually showed me the video of him making a mockery. And trust me, my daughter Kiana is a strong-willed young lady. God fear any man that crosses her because she knows what she wants in life. And when she got ticked off at this video, I knew it was serious. I didn't put two and two together until a few weeks ago. But Kiki, do you want to put your voice out there?
People are now believing in children transitioning into trans. But in my opinion, that's wrong because scientifically your brain does not stop developing until you're 25 years old. Therefore, you actually don't know what you want until you're at least 25 years old. People from when they were 21 said that they believed in this, believed in that, but now as a 25-year-old, they're like, wow, I believe in completely different things, the complete opposite. And children, on the other hand, there's tons of people coming out saying that they transitioned as a young child and now they regret it. And people actually committed,
Yeah, you don't have to say it. Yeah.
They committed because they couldn't stand the fact that they messed up their entire body over because they felt like it was the right decision.
And that's from a word from an almost 15-year-old. By the way, the 28th is her birthday, so comment section, happy birthday for Kiki. Come on. She deserves it. But, as a father of 3 daughters, my one daughter came to me about this. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but she came to me. I won't mention which one it was, but she came to me about it. that she thought she was a boy. And I'm not going to lie, I got ticked. I didn't get mean at her. I just had a logical conversation with her, and I explained to her within very details of what she is.
And now she doesn't actually. Now she actually doesn't. She likes being a girl.
Yeah. I'm gonna mention names, but yeah, And when I had the conversation with her, that's our job as a parent. It's okay for our children to be confused in life. That's part of being an adolescent.
It's like influencing my child.
But when you're sitting there and ignoring your child's cry for help, that's child neglect. You're neglecting God's child. And that's another thing, real quick. These are God's children, not ours. Even the Bible, it tells us. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, it tells us, spare the rod, spoil the child. That means guide the child. Love the child. Be compassionate with the child. Lead the child in the right path. The one thing I know in life, my girl's going to grow up respectful, young, successful, independent women. I know my 3 daughters, when they get to that age, when they're on their own, they're going to conquer the world and make changes. Mark my word. This one standing right here, she has no clue what kind of gift God has bestowed her. She will one day. But if you guys ever hear her sing, it will touch your heart. But guys, with that being said, Dylan Mulvaney is a fake. Straight out, this is all for show, all for clout. His own words even said, if I decide to get the surgery, I just want to normalize the bulge. But as I said, if I walk into my daughter's school wearing booty shorts and normalizing my bulge, what's going to happen to me? I'm going to be arrested for exposure to a minor. But yet we're allowing this. Like, America, world, you got to get your facts straight. Love who you want to love, live your life, but stop shoving it down the throat of other people. It is not fair. And that will conclude today's episode, guys. I greatly appreciate all those who are listening or tuning in today or watching the video. But guys, if you want to see the video, if you're on the podcast side of things, it is on YouTube. Go check out Ghost Plays. It's going to be there for you guys. Eventually, our website will have the podcast section on it, as well as the video sections as well, with links to our YouTube channel. That will be within works. But guys, I greatly appreciate it. I really look forward to doing more of these. If you guys have any suggestions for the next episode, a topic you want discussed, let me know down in the comment sections below. Or you can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on all the other social medias, guys. But without further ado, your boy Ghost has to get rolling. You guys have a blessed day. Have a good one, guys. Don't forget to remain compassionate. Don't forget to love one another. We are all God's children, and we're in this together. Have a good one.